Travis Kelce was spotted admiring the stunning views from his lavish Sydney hotel room after touching down in Australia on Thursday morning. The American football tight end, 34, arrived in Sydney via a private jet as he supports the global megastar amid her sold-out Eras Tour shows. The Bombardier Global 6000 touched down on the tarmac at 8:57 a.m. after traveling from Hawaii. And aerial footage showed Travis getting off the flight soon after. Just hours after landing, Travis was seen settling into his very lavish hotel room and admiring the views alongside his NFL star best friend Ross Travis, who has accompanied him on the big trip. Travis cut a laid-back figure in a dark cap and green jacket as he kicked back in the accommodation after traveling down under following Kansas City Chiefs' victory in the Super Bowl. His friend Ross, 31, who is also a tight end, kept it casual in a white cap and oversized football shirt as he stood by the window and soaked in the city views. Earlier in the day, Ross had shared a snap of himself traveling through the sky on the private jet as he showed off the view of Australia's coastline from the lavish plane. Travis has jetted down under to reunite with his girlfriend Taylor, as she gears up to perform 3 sold-out concerts in Sydney this weekend after the success of her Melbourne shows. It is expected that doting boyfriend Travis will attend Taylor's upcoming shows in Sydney, which will run from Friday, February 23 to Monday, February 26. The cruel summer hitmaker is believed to be currently staying at Crown's presidential villa in Sydney's Barangaroo, which typically costs $25,000 per night. Swiftie mania has rapidly spread across the country ever since the singer began her run of arena concerts, and the excitement has only ramped up more upon Kelce's arrival. Across all Australian TV channels, the same live footage of Travis' flight touching down at Sydney Airport was shown as excitement overran the country. On Sunrise, Natalie Barr and Matt Shervington eagerly tracked Travis' flight as they had reporter Liam Tapper live at the scene waiting for the flight to land. The co-hosts were seen keeping an eye on the jet via a live flight tracker, which they revealed temporarily crashed amid a huge number of Swifties tracking the plane. Liam revealed, "We've been refreshing the flight tracker app. It even crashed at one point. They had their engineers working on it." Such is the interest in Travis' flight. As Matt and Natalie watched the private jet land live, they couldn't help but make an NFL-themed joke as they yelled "touchdown" when the plane hit the tarmac. Taylor herself landed in Sydney at about 1:30 p.m. on Monday after her flight from Melbourne was delayed 30 minutes due to severe thunderstorms. The couple were last pictured together during Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas on February 11, 2024, in Las Vegas, Nevada, as they celebrated the Kansas City Chiefs' win. Rumors are also heating up that the pair will enjoy a romantic holiday together in Queensland during their time down under.
Taylor Swift knows better than anyone how much we all enjoy a good love story, and it looks like Australian fans could be in for their own version with a potential high-profile rendezvous between the pop star and Super Bowl-winning boyfriend, Travis Kelce, looking increasingly likely. Last week, Kelce secured his 3rd Super Bowl ring, and the minute the game finished, talk turned to whether the Kansas City tight end would join Swift on the Australian leg of her Eras Tour. Kelce hinted at travel plans on his podcast New Heights, saying he would venture to an island real soon, fueling speculation he was heading down under. Swift arrived in Sydney on Monday, fresh from completing her record-breaking 3-concert tour in Melbourne. But on Tuesday morning the jet she is using was spotted taking off for Honolulu, where it is due to arrive at about 9:20 p.m. local time. On Tuesday, Swift and Kelce were both unavailable to comment, so instead, we went to the next best thing. Travis Kelce's dad, Ed, "Well, look, we spoke after the Super Bowl, and I asked him, 'Are you going to take off for Sydney?' And he seemed keen," explained Ed. "He said he'd really like to see Sydney in Singapore, but he wasn't sure because he has commitments. He is at a celebrity charity golf outing today, which, I think, is in Las Vegas." As the father of 2 famous footballers, Travis's brother Jason is a center for the Philadelphia Eagles. Ed is no stranger to the spotlight. But things have reached a new level since Travis and Taylor started dating. "She's probably the most famous person in the world, but she doesn't seem like it. She's so warm and so gracious," explains Ed. "While their first meeting was a little bumpy, I was at Travis' house, and I didn't recognize her. My girlfriend was not impressed with me." Ed and the Swift clan have since grown close, with Ed watching the Super Bowl alongside Taylor's dad, Scott. Scott played college football, so he was right into it, I think he likes that his daughter is dating a football player and not a musician, laughed Ed. Swift's relationship with Kelce has become one of the most talked about cultural storylines of the last 12 months, and her attendance at his games has helped boost NFL ratings. In some corners, her star power has been painted as a distraction, but Ed believes Swift's presence is wholly positive. She loves football so much, and she sets a good example during games. I was so shocked that during the Super Bowl, my buddies and I left some rubbish near us, and when Taylor got up, she stopped and picked it all up and put it in the trash, says Ed. I thought that spoke volumes. This is someone with celebrity power like no other, but she comes from a good family and spent time with her mother and her brother. They're good folk. Like any self-respecting father, Ed Kelce only wants the best for his son, and as soon as things got serious between Travis and Taylor, he said about doing his research, I went on to her Instagram, and she had some great videos up there. Then she did the commencement speech at New York University, so I watched that on YouTube, admits Ed. Straight away, I could tell she was smart and humble. Obviously, her music is great too. When pushed, Kelce is quick to share his favorite song, You Belong With Me. The video was cute, but admits he has yet to see her perform live and didn't have it in him to finish the Eras concert tour film. I almost went to see the movie, but that thing was like 3 hours long. That's a little much for me, laughs Ed. While fans will be hoping that Travis Kelce joins Swift in Sydney as an extra special guest, Ed is more concerned about what comes next for the high-profile pair. Between Swift's tour commitments and Travis's playing schedule, Ed admits he has spent time thinking about how they'll make it work. I won't pretend that I don't worry about it. He is my son, and I worry about him because they will have some challenges in their relationship for sure, says Ed. But they seem a good fit, and ultimately, they just need to find their way together. Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce has named Mike Frazier as the unsung hero of their Super Bowl 58 victory. Frazier, who is the team's statistical analysis coordinator, was instrumental in preparing the team for overtime. The Chiefs managed to keep hold of the Lombardi Trophy after a thrilling 25-22 win over the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas earlier this month. Despite being 10 points behind, the Chiefs managed to level the game at 19-19 by the end of regular play. When the 49ers chose to have the ball first but only scored a field goal, it was Patrick Mahomes who found Mecole Hardman in the end zone to bring the Super Bowl to an exciting finish. Kelce credited Frazier as the main strategist behind their overtime win. My guy Mike Frazier, Kelce said on his New Heights podcast. He's the one that goes through all these scenarios, all these big-time situations, end of half, end of game, rule changes. He comes up and stands in front of the team, and when he comes in front of the team everyone yells, Freyas. Kelce went on to say, he goes over these kinds of situations. I'm pretty sure we went over the overtime rules 4 times in a 2-week span. Every single week we talked about overtime rules in the playoffs and Frazier was up front, giving what we would do in all these scenarios, so everybody on the team, we knew exactly what the best situation was, how we were going to handle it, how we were going to attack it. And a guy like that, man, you don't realize how big of a job it is to do that kind of stuff. Frazier had also worked with Kelce's older brother Jason Kelce at the Philadelphia Eagles, where he was a statistical analysis coordinator during the center's first 2 seasons at the team. Frazier's understanding of rules, strategies, and analytics elevates players' games. It's Frazier coming up big, Travis Kelce joked. They've got to get a Frazier in San Fran. Kansas City has a big off-season ahead of them. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid said at his end-of-season press conference that the team would love to have defensive lineman Chris Jones back. Jones signed a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Chiefs in 2020 and prior to entering the final year of his contract, held out off all off-season activities and training camp. An understanding was reached after missing the Week 1 clash with the Detroit Lions, signing a reworked contract for 1 year, worth up to $25 million. The Chiefs might use the franchise tag on Jones for 2024, which would cost $32.4 million. They could also agree on a longer contract with him. Coach Reid shared, "Yeah, listen, I think, General Manager Brett Veach has said it before, we'd love to have him back, and they're just got to work all that out," and added, "But I think the effort will be there probably on both parts to try and get something done."